What is going on, y'all? It's King Joker, and today we're gonna be doing this little thing that I wanted to do since the One Piece Power Warriors DLC is finally over. And the very next video I'm going to make after this is going to be me making the roster for One Piece Power Warriors 5. So look forward to that very soon. But what we're gonna do right now is we're just gonna make a little list, seeing whether or not the characters in Power Warriors 4 are going to make it back to the next game or not. So it's just going to see how likely each character is. Green check mark being a yes, X being a no, and a yellow line being a maybe. Let's go ahead and get started. So obviously I already have all the Straw Hats with green check marks because obviously they're the Straw Hats they're going to make back. Buggy is for sure making it to Power Warriors 5, especially since he's a Yonko now. I think they might have him with a second form in the next game. Maybe just an alternate costume where he's the big version of himself. Maybe that could be like have its own moveset or something. It could be a post time skip version of Buggy. But we're just gonna have to see. Mihawk is for sure getting into Power Warriors 5. The reason I'm basing this, I'm pretty sure the way they choose characters, not the way they choose characters, but the way that they're finna decide on who's coming back is who appears in more than one arc. So that's gonna be like really determining of what's going on. I'm surprised Smoker and Tashigi even made it into this game, because there were really only in Alabasta and in Marineford, so I guess that's two. But you know, they're probably gonna make it back in Power Warriors 5, especially if they have like Punk Hazard, and if they add the East Blue stuff again, which I would really love for them to do. So I can see Smoker and Tashigi making it back into the game. Crocodile, obviously one of the main One Piece villains. Ace, that's a no-brainer. Blackbeard as well, it's a no-brainer. Boa, especially with all the stuff that we got going on right now with her, definitely. Ivankov. Now, I'm not sure. I was surprised Ivankov. I was really surprised Ivankov made it into this game. Okay? I really thought he was going to get cut, especially since he's more present in Impel Down than he is during Marineford. Marineford is the only arc that Ivankov shows up in the game. He's a very forgettable character. He's like literally one of the most forgettable characters on the roster. Like, unless you're directly looking at him, you forget he's even there. He barely even shows up as an NPC for real. But he's still too iconic. I can see him getting some more screen time later in the story, so they might want to keep him in for that. So, you know, sheesh. We're gonna give Ivankov the first maybe. Jinbei, especially now that he's been introduced to Straw Hat, he's definitely making it back. They should have been updated the game to where Jinbei shows up on the Straw Hat roster, but it is what it is. Kizaru, Kuzan, and Akainu are all definitely making it back. Whitebeard, I know that I said that this was determined by like how many arcs you're in. Whitebeard is definitely an exception to that because it's Whitebeard. He's a Yonko. He's one of the main parts of Marineford. He's too iconic. I could see them in the next game if they give us an original, not original Wano ending. If they give us the canon ending for Wano, I could see them doing a flashback in Odin fighting Whitebeard or Odin fighting Roger. I could see there being an Odin flashback mission though. That would be fire. And Marco as well. Marco showing up at Wano, definitely making it back into the game. Doflamingo for sure. Can't wait to see him again in the story. We're gonna have to wait a little bit for that. Fujitora, yes. Law, of course. Can't wait to see Burr again. Hopefully in the next game we get a Law versus Blackbeard mission. They're probably not going to do that. Sabu, obviously, especially with all the stuff that we got going right now. What is the likeliness of us getting a Marijois mission for Sabu? That'd be tough. Marijois needs to be a map in the next game. I gotta put that in my next video. Shanks, obviously. Lucci, especially because Egghead. Barto and Cavendish. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's not looking too good. Especially since they haven't been in the story since Dressrosa. I definitely see them coming back towards the end of the series, but definitely not anytime soon. Both of these characters are very forgettable in the roster as well. I think Barto has a higher chance of making it back than Cavendish does. I'm gonna give Barto a maybe, and I'm gonna give Cavendish a no. I'm gonna give Barto a maybe, and I'm gonna give Cavendish an M. Katakuri, obviously making it back. Basil Hawkins shows up in Saba Odi and Wano, but I honestly think they might be able to do without him. But honestly, I don't see them removing any Worst Generation members. I could see them doing without him, but I just don't see them dropping any Worst Generation members. For sure. Carrot. Ooh, she's in Whole Cake Island. She's in Wano. If they add Zoe as a map in the next game, she will be there too. Just didn't show up in Wano as much as she should have, but they're not gonna cut her out. But I think it's still a maybe. I think Jury might still be out on it. She's a great character. Jury's still out on him a little bit though. I could see her getting into it though. I could see her getting into that game. I think they are gonna cut these guys, not completely though. I think they're gonna cut them, but not completely. Niji, I'm gonna just go ahead and do this. Niji and Yonji are not gonna come back because they can just develop all their movesets in the Ichiji. I think Ichiji is for sure coming back. I don't know about Reiju. I don't know if they can combine them all into one character that's just Ichiji. That could work. Reiju has a very different moveset, and she's very used in the game. But I could see them removing her. I could just see it happening. Beijing, like I said before, I don't see them taking out any Worst Generation members. Kid, especially not Kid, because he is too prevalent in Wano. Big Mom and Kaido obviously are coming back. Now for DLC. This is where things are going to get tricky, but not really. Smoothie. I do not see Smoothie coming back. She barely made it into the roster only because this is a Whole Cake Island pack. If this was any other type of pack, she would not be making it in. But Cracker, on the other hand, I could see him coming back. I could see Cracker coming back for sure. He has to fight with Luffy, even though he's a smaller role and he still hasn't even really appeared until the most recent episode of the show. Smoothly pulled up at Wano, and then we just did not. Let's see what happened to that big group of the Big Mom pirates that came with Big Mom to Wano, and they just disappeared. Like, were they not even on the floor on Onigashima? What happened to them? Did they just not make it into Wano at all? And they just turned back and left their mom there? Sparrow made it, and he flew in on like a candy bird. Everybody else was just nowhere to be seen. More specifically, Smoothie, even though she's a sweet general, she should have pulled up to the battle in some sort of way, and she just wasn't there. So no. And Judge, it's a maybe on Judge. Judge is a maybe. I could see them doing it, but like I said before, with the German characters, all they really need is Ichiji. So I don't know if Judge will even make it. They might be able to do Judge and then put the rest of the Germa into his moveset. We got Drake, obviously. Like I said, don't see any Worst Generation members getting taken out. I would put a maybe on Rouge because I think Pot Warriors 5 will come out before he gets any screen time. But I still think they're gonna put him in. That's what my gut is telling me, but I'm gonna go logically. He's really a maybe. It's really a maybe if he's gonna come back. Kanemon's definitely. Ooh. If they have Punk Hazard, yes, but we don't know that. I'm gonna put Kanemon on the maybe. Okiku, I don't see her coming back, honestly. I don't see her making it to the cut. Especially if Kinemon doesn't make it, I don't see her making it back. Odin, yes, I definitely see Odin making it into the next game for sure. Obviously, Gear 5th, Luffy, and Hybrid Kaido are going to come with those characters. Yamato, I think he is definitely getting on the roster. He just became such a fan favorite during Wano. There's no way they can leave him out. Now. Uta, he is technically a movie character, right? But she is canon to the story now. I think it's more like an anime canon thing. She's not going to show up in any episodes. So this could have just been a one-time thing for the Film Red movie. So I'm not going to lie. I'm gonna have to put her as a maybe. I'm gonna have to put her as a maybe. Shanks is obviously coming back. Kobe, I can see definitely returning. It's about time they made him a character because he really should have been a character in 3 as well. But it's good that he's finally here, especially with all the shine he's getting lately. Roger Goldie Roger definitely making a comeback. He's the king of the pirates, even though he only shows up in one arc. He's just too iconic not to have as a character. Rayleigh is a maybe. Rayleigh's a maybe. I think what they could do for him, they add old Rayleigh. If they add old Rayleigh as a skin, so they can put him in during Sabaody, that would be tough. And then last but not least, we have Garp. I definitely see Garp coming back. He should have been a part of this game's original roster, but he was unfortunately cut. I'm glad that he came back as DLC, even though we should have gotten an old Garp we should have got a version of old Garp in the DLC for this as a skin. I think we should have gotten an old Rayleigh too, but that would have been hard to do because Rayleigh uses like a different type of sword than young Rayleigh. So I understand that, but Garp should have definitely got an older Garp skin, especially since he has Galaxy Impact as a move. But that is my list here on the screen for y'all in all of its glory. I really hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Just wanted to make this really quick because the next video that I'm going to be putting out is me making the roster for Pirate Warriors 5. My roster is going to have all these characters in it because it's going to be from the perspective of when the One Piece show is over, and it's going to have over 100 characters. So be looking for that video. It should be coming out on Thursday if my freaking can get it edited in time. But that's going to be all for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to tell your mother that you love her. I'm going to see you guys later. Room Shambles.